Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is a strange game to recommend. Not because it isn't a good game, it is a very good game, but because of the very niche position that it does fall into. It is a prequel to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is a sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. However, it also serves as a sequel to Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which was a prequel to Breath of the Wild, but also a sequel to the first Hyrule Warriors in a way, which makes it a prequel to the sequel, but a sequel to the sequel's prequel. Confused? So am I. But on top of all of that, Hyrule Warriors is a Koei Tecmo hack and slash, well, a Warriors game, which does have its own genre called Musu game, which is akin to Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, so on and so forth. To truly appreciate this game, you would have had to enjoy Tears of the Kingdom and probably Age of Calamity, and to enjoy those titles, you would have most likely have had to play Breath of the Wild, and most likely have been a fan of the Musu games. Anyway, with all that nicheness out of the way, let's talk about the game. Being a prequel to Tears of the Kingdom, it does dive deeper into a story that was integrated as flashbacks, just how Age of Calamity did for Breath of the Wild, filling in the blanks between the flashbacks, which is the Imprisonment War. It is pretty cool to see old school Hyrule Kingdom further back than we have ever seen before. It just doesn't have that same payoff of seeing what happened during the Calamity 100 years prior to waking up as Link in Breath of the Wild. The reason I was so driven by Age of Calamity is because it really did feel like you were playing Breath of the Wild, but just with all the action, no exploration. And I can say I think they've achieved the same feeling with Age of Imprisonment to Tears of the Kingdom. Minoru's combos have you fighting with Zonai constructs and using Zonai equipment the same way you would with the Ultra Hand and Fuse ability in Tears of the Kingdom. The mysterious construct character, which bears a striking resemblance to our hero of the series, fights just like Link and can fuse items to attacks to deal extra damage. Seeing Hyrule in action, and more of his character fleshed out, has been great to witness, and to see what kind of king he really was to Hyrule Kingdom. The Zonai devices add a fun new way to play, and learning where and when to place them can create a powerhouse of an effect. For example, using a frost device near water will increase its effect, and using a fan with a fire device will emit a huge flaming tornado. You have your ultimate attacks as well as sync strikes, which are ultimate attacks exclusive between two characters attacking together. The Masked Sages of Tears of the Kingdom get more of a meet and greet, and they have some pretty awesome movesets, and it was really nice to finally get a proper introduction into who they are. The main roster characters such as Kalamo, the Mysterious Construct, Rauru, Minoru, the Sages, and of course Zelda are a lot of fun to play as and use, even if the more generic characters are, well, pretty generic. The game did start off a little slow until I started unlocking characters and more movesets that I really enjoyed. Then the game got to the point that I just could not put it down. In addition to the main missions, there's a side quest which is essentially just objectives to complete. Training camps to spend rupees to level up other characters to your most maximum level on your highest character. Weapons research bases to upgrade your character weapons, and more of the like. So there is plenty to do. In terms of how the game actually performs and looks, it's really impressive. Handheld will still see the occasional frame dips when executing a big flashy attack with lots of enemies and characters on the screen, although that is barely noticeable. However, docked mode, I'm yet to experience any issues whatsoever. The game looks and performs amazingly well. The visuals are beautiful, and the on-screen particle effects from attacks just look fantastic. Load time speeds on both docked and handheld have been incredibly fast. It's a fantastic addition to the Hyrule Warriors saga and Tears of the Kingdom story. However, if you aren't heavily invested in the Switch Zelda main titles and Musu games, I'd probably skip this one and wait for something you enjoy a little more. Metroid Prime 4 releases shortly, as well as Kirby Air Rider. Hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please consider dropping a like and smashing that subscribe button, as it really does help the channel grow. Have a great day, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.